In this video, we will do a quick review of angle relationships. For example, we learned that angles like these are corresponding angles, and they'll be congruent if the lines are parallel. Angles like these are called alternate interior angles. They will also be congruent for parallel lines. Angles like these are alternate exterior angles. They are congruent when lines are parallel. And angles like these are consecutive interior angles. They are supplementary if the lines are parallel. They add up to 180. In addition to that, we have a couple more. These don't have anything to do with parallel lines, but when you have two angles that form a straight line, that's called a linear pair. And of course, they will be supplementary because they have to add up to 180 to make a straight line. And then angles that are across from each other, you have intersecting lines, and these angles that are across from each other are called vertical angles. They are always congruent no matter what. Now, just as far as vocabulary, angles that are complementary add up to 90 degrees. So if angles E and F are complementary, that means 5x minus 10 plus 2x plus 5 has to equal 90. So just combining like terms, the 5x and the 2x, that makes 7x. Negative 10 and positive 5 makes negative 5. And that must equal 90. So adding 5 to both sides, that gives me 7x is equal to 95. Wait a minute. They didn't actually ask me to solve this. They're just saying which one is true. It's the first one. The answer is A. All right, because that matches what I wrote. They got to add up to 90. That's what complementary means. Okay, M is the midpoint of segment KL. I think we should draw a little picture. So here's segment KL. So here's K, here's L. And here's M being the midpoint. If M is the midpoint, that means these two segments are congruent to each other. So let's see. They told us that KL is 4x minus 12. All right, so that means this is 4x minus 12. And then KM is 3x minus 10. Okay, so this is Km, this is 3x minus 10. These are not congruent. KL is twice the size of Km, and that's what I'm going to actually use. Okay, so 4x minus 12 should equal double the size of 3x minus 10. Okay, it's twice as big. So I have to do the distributive property over here. So that's going to give me 4x minus 12 is equal to 6x minus 20. Okay, I think I will subtract 4x from both sides. So that's going to give me negative 12 is equal to 2x minus 20. Then I would add 20 to both sides. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to go off-road here. So that's going to give me 8 is equal to 2x. And then dividing both sides by 2, I get x is equal to 4. All right, hopefully this time they actually asked me to solve it. And there you go. Okay, let's see, find the value of x. These little triangles mean that the lines are parallel. And I mentioned earlier that angles like these, consecutive interior angles, they have to be supplementary. They have to add up to 180. So that's why I'm going to do like this. 3x minus 10 plus 7x they have to add up to 180. So combining these like terms, that gives me 10x minus 10 is equal to 180. Then I would add 10 to both sides. So that gives me 10x is equal to 190. Then you got to divide both sides by 10. That gives you x is equal to 19. So the answer is D. Okay, are the lines P and Q parallel? P and Q are not parallel. Like we saw on problem number 13. When the lines are parallel, then consecutive interior angles such as these must be supplementary. These had to add up to 180. Okay, now these are also consecutive interior angles. If these are going to be, if P and Q are parallel, these should be supplementary. So 88 plus 88 would have to add up to 180, but they do not. Okay. So of course 88 plus 88 is 176. Okay, so because consecutive interior angles are not supplementary, then that's why they are not parallel. So we're going to choose choice D. Okay, this is a parallelogram, we're told. So just check it out. If this is a parallelogram, that means angle H and angle F should be congruent, and these angle E and G should be congruent, and the ones that are consecutive angles should be supplementary. So let's see, what did they give us? They gave us angle E. We have an expression for angle E, and we have an expression for angle F. All right, these should be supplementary. They have to add up to 180. So that is what we're going to do. Okay, so 6x plus 12 plus 9x minus 42 should equal 180. All right, combining like terms, this is going to make 15x minus 30 is equal to 180. Okay, then you want to add 30 to both sides. So that's going to give you 15x is equal to 210. And then it's time to divide both sides by 15. And that's 14. Okay, but they didn't ask us to find x. They asked us to find the measure of angle H. So I'm glad they didn't put 14 as one of the choices, because that might have fooled some of you. Not me, but it might have fooled some of you. Angle H is congruent to angle F. Okay, angle H and angle F are the same. Okay, so I'm going to use the expression for angle F. So 9x minus 42 becomes 9 times 14 minus 42. So that is 84. All right, so that means angle F and therefore angle H are 84 degrees. And the answer is B. Oh, fun dog. Which of the following must be true? So this is a congruency statement. So which of the following must be true? Based on the order, angle F should be congruent to angle D, not angle O. So that's not it. Angle N should be congruent to angle G, because they're in the same position, not angle D. So that's not it. Okay, segment FN, all right, see the F and the N, should be congruent to segment DG. And that's what they have. So the answer is C. Okay, just to follow through on the stuff that didn't work. NU, segment NU, that would be like this right here. That should be congruent to segment GO, not DO. Okay, number 17. Angle A is congruent to angle D. So this angle is congruent to that angle. Angle C is the midpoint of AD. All right, that makes AC congruent to CD. In that case, why are the triangles congruent, and what's the congruency statement? Well, we're missing one extra piece of information other than just what's given. We know that this angle and this angle will also be congruent because they are vertical angles, and vertical angles are always congruent. So these triangles will be congruent by angle, side, angle. Okay, because we have an angle, a side, and an angle. Okay, so that narrows it down to either B or D. Both of these say angle, side, angle. So now we just need to look at the order of the letters. Triangle ABC, okay, let me just do it independently. So I have triangle ABC. It's congruent to triangle. Now, angle A corresponds to angle D. Angle B corresponds to angle E. And of course, angle C corresponds to angle C. So if I have ABC, then I should have DEC. Okay, so that means B is not the answer, and the answer is D. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Go ahead and click here in the red apple to watch the next video. Click in the green apple to subscribe, or click the yellow apple for the full playlist.